Welcome to week 30 in our book, Queen of the Castle, 52 Weeks of Encouragement for the Uninspired, Domestically Challenged, or just plain tired homemaker. I don't know about you, but I am plain tired right now. Our chapter this week is on flea markets, and it comes at the absolute perfect time in my life. I'm in a new location. I'm actually recording from a little alcove in my house, off of my new bedroom, and just trying to figure out how to do this. At some point, I'll be recording in another part of the house, but we have been moving the last few days, and I'm exhausted and sweaty, and was hoping to record this morning, but this is it. This is what you get. So this week's lesson is on flea markets and how to find great finds, but also reminding us that there are things we don't need. And so, like I said, this is perfect for me because there's a few things in this new house. We brought everything. Like, I really didn't have much time to declutter before we bought this house, and so with that, everything came. As I'm putting things away, there are things that I'm finding I don't need. I have a juicing machine, which we've used for years. We had grapevines at the old house. I showed those to you in last week's video. And I would juice those and use that for canning, or sometimes mix that in with drinks, and it was just kind of a like 7-Up or anything. So it was kind of a fun way to have a really nice grape juice, fresh grape juice from our vines. It was really kind of fun. And I also had a blender, and so I was finding homes for those, and then I ran across a contraption I had no idea I had. And it's Cuisinart brand, which Cuisinart brand is usually top of the line, and don't know where it came from. I don't know if it was a Christmas gift one year from my husband, and I don't know. So guess what? I don't have grapes anymore, so I'm not going to be juicing a plethora of grapes, and so the juicing machine's going. And it also has a blender attachment. I'm thinking, why would I keep a separate blender? It has everything. So very, very excited about being able to declutter that. So that was some things that we found right away as we were unpacking the kitchen, and also unpacking bathrooms. There's no wall space for pictures and shelving to display stuff that we had at the old house. And so my daughter right away was like, yeah, I'm okay with not hanging anything up in here, because it's just a very small spot where she could hang anything up. And she's very much a minimalist. Both my girls are, and they're really good about weeding through their stuff on a regular basis. I have so many clothes, there came a point when if I brought in one item, I got rid of two. And there's so many different ways that you can go about decluttering. There are so many resources out there. If you contact a professional organizer, I have a good friend who does that. She is fantastic. And one of her services is, not only does she try to envision your space, so my sewing room, she did a fantastic job helping me with my sewing room, just getting it under control so that the things I need were within my reach. And anything I was getting rid of, she took. She figured out where to donate it or whatever, and that was awesome. I did not have to worry about that, so I'd highly recommend her, and I'll link her in the description below. But there are lots of great things to do. You can donate if your kids want to raise money and you are okay with them running a garage sale. My husband hates to run yard sales, and I don't blame him. It's a lot of work. There are companies you can call Vietnam Veterans of America, and or I think you can do it all online even, and they will come in and pick up stuff. Now, the other thing that I really loved is your local senior center. Some of them, and I think Michael's craft store, will take your UFOs, your unfinished objects. So if you have a half knit item or a half crocheted item, or even pieces to a quilting project you started, if they're all together, they'll take them and they will find someone who will finish that project. One of the perks, I think, about moving is after you have kind of downsized and really thought about those things and what they mean to you. This is our forever home, all right? I look at it as we'll be here, I keep telling people, we'll be here until the kids institutionalize us. So I'm hoping we have a good 40 years at this house. That's my prayer. And that'll get me into my 80s. And so, hey, you know, I'll take what the Lord will give. So my goal is to, as I weed through things, think about it. If it does not have a home in this, our last home, then it needs to go by, and that's okay. So one of the things I've done as we've seasons undecorated for the next season, as I have decided things I don't want anymore, I've asked the children, who are all adults now, if there's anything that they would want. And if it's something I'm getting rid of, they can take it then and there, or if they're living with me, then they just put their name on it, and we either just stick it back in the decorating box or we put it out, depending on what the deal is. The other thing too is if there's anything in the decor that we pull out, if there's something you want, put your name on it and just leave it at that. My feelings are not hurt if they don't want it. It's important that we aren't so attached to the items we have here on this earth. It's so easy to do. It's so easy to do. Something got broke on the way over here. It was one of the goblets from our wedding. Well, that was over 20 years ago that we got those goblets, and yes, I love them, but we rarely use them, and I still have 9 left. So I'm okay that 1 got broke. 3 have gotten broke over the last 20 years. That's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. So just trying to think through that kind of stuff. Make sure you're in the right state of mind. There was a big movement, the KonMari, I think it was called the KonMari method. And I watched it, and it was really interesting, and sweet woman, and how she goes through the process and how she pays respect to the item, and, you know, does this item bring me joy? And then if it doesn't bring me joy, you thank the item and ask it to bless someone else. Well, I struggled with that because I don't believe that item has a life. And I don't necessarily know that that's what she's saying. I think it's one of those things where sometimes we have to trick our brain a little bit, you know, kind of like I love painting. Oh, I'm thankful I have a house that I can paint. And like you just keep saying it because there's truth in it. And yet, you know, I am thankful I have a house that I can paint, etc., etc., etc. First world problems, right? But she thanks the item, asks it to bless someone else, so on and so forth. And I think it's a very interesting concept, but I thank the Lord when I've done that. I've thanked the Lord, you know, thank you, Lord, for this item. It's been a neat thing to have in my home. I've enjoyed it, and I just prayed it. You know, it goes on to bless someone else. And so I do try to give away as much as possible. I'll put it for free on Facebook Marketplace or things like that. The hard part with that is there are a lot of people that don't show. So that's kind of the hard part of it. So, you know, you take the good, you take the bad. The facts of life. But yeah, you're going to be hearing my cat meowing in the background for a minute here. So one of those other things about moving, it's so easy to get excited to want to go out and buy things, but it's really important that you really kind of toy with the idea of maybe I need or want, not need, but want that, because honestly, do we really need anything? Those basics are pretty much covered. So one of the things that I think would be nice is I would love to have a what's it called, a thing to put my shoes on. So we have a beautiful walk-in closet, and it has some shelving, but there's nowhere to put like folded clothes except for that shelf. And honestly, don't know about you, but socks have a tendency to get away. So just trying to figure out how to maneuver without just going out and buying something. And I think there's room in there for like a tall dresser, and because there's a part of the closet we don't have enough clothes to fill that whole thing. All of our clothes are in there, including our jackets are in there, and it's just kind of cool that the coat closet is going to be used for when other people come over, not for ours. So that's kind of cool to know that we can keep that. We have enough room in our closet to be able to do that. Then, but yeah, just thinking about, man, okay, it'd be nice to have a tall dresser. It'd be nice to have a thing to organize my shoes, and it would be nice to have a mirror in that room, in that walk-in closet. But I didn't just go out and buy it. I'm kind of sitting on it because I know I can live without. I've lived without it this long. I could probably live without it for a little bit longer. So along with all of that, just trying to be not so hard on myself that it's not completely unpacked, put away, so on and so forth. I was going to share with you one more thing that a friend mentioned to me, and she said, I'm going to start for the next 31 days, and day 1 I'm going to get rid of 1 item, day 2 I'm going to get rid of 2. I said, well, that's not how it works for me because I'm unpacking a house. So what's 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, whatever, and it's almost 500. So my goal is to, as I'm going through this, see if I can't find 500 items that can go somewhere else and bless somebody else. And I'm really excited about that. So blessings to you. I don't have internet up until Wednesday, so I'm hoping and praying that it's connected. I can get this uploaded so that it's fresh for you on Sunday. And I'll be in Dunsmuir, California for a family reunion, which I'm really excited about. Lord, I'm gonna do this prayer because this prayer is so beautiful. Lord, thank you for showing me so clearly that my treasure is not my possessions. Thank you for the real treasures in my life, my family, my friends, and my relationship with you. And how true is that? Because at the end of the day, who are the ones that come over and help and want to assist? Packing, unpacking, moving, shifting, bringing you meals, wanting to pray for you, your family, and your friends. And he has kept me calm throughout this whole thing. I don't know how, other than he's in control. And when things aren't quite right, he has been so great at stopping my tongue from becoming the pepper of the earth, and to just be salt when these situations have arisen. So blessings to you. I know this is a long video, but thank you for joining me, and I'm excited to show you our new home as we get a little bit more unpacked. Bye-bye.